Warning: the following video deals with subjects of adult entertainment, mental illness, and human anatomy. Viewer discretion is advised. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our Indy. This is Captain April, and these are the days of our Indy. Okay, little issue. I think we really should take a step back instead of doing, video by video review. Let's look at the overall thing here with Indy's output, okay? And again, we'll bring up, what kind of brought her to everyone's attention in the first place. She was doing pretty, unique, innovative stuff and interesting stuff. Is main thing because you'd see different things. She would, do different things. They'd change positions. But lately, she really hasn't done anything with any variety in it. I think the serving wench video was probably the last hurrah on that. Everything else has been just, you got an interesting setup with a premise, but then like the finally, and again, why who asked you? People are asking me. Somebody came into one of my Fortnite streams and asked me to review this boy video, and if it finally came across my thing, and it finally did. And not to my usual sources, I had to search for it myself. But that it finally showed up, and like I said, it's boring because you got about a 1 minute setup. Supposedly, Indy's doing a Twitch stream, playing a game that Twitch would not allow, and you were about getting banned because you're having sex on camera. The game alone would get her banned. So let's work on your premises a bit here. But I would think Indy 5 years ago, this would have been a much more interesting video. Again, assuming you could get somebody willing to go on camera with you to do it, but it's like, all we got in that video is about 4 minutes of her being nailed from behind. It's like, suppose the live camera comes on in the act of him pulling down her pants. He pulls down his pants, and again, an accidental face reveal. I think that one should have caught in the editing and maybe reshot that or something. But then it's like going out from behind, doggy, And aside from him pulling her hair for a minute, and then sticking his thumb in her mouth or sucking on that, and then stuff I frankly find rather disturbing. They'll grab him by the throat type thing and hold like. It was in another discussion. Would you like to dominate or be submissive? Neither. I want mutual. Okay. I'm into mutual playtime there. I have no room or interest in power plays in the bedroom. I think it's a turn off. Because things can go bad too badly there, and it's just like there's stuff, and there's just stuff is coming in there that has nothing to do with what you're in there for. It has nothing to do with the person. You're playing out some kind of psychodrama in your head, and you're using this person as a tool. And that's why I just don't like doggy. Really, I understand why the girls like it because of the deep penetration, but it's too impersonal. Okay. I understand the person's back. I want it's face to face. A little mutual thing here, but that's a side thing. There's no variant. It's just going out of here screaming, and then oh my God, is that live? And I hope I don't get banned. It's like I think a little more attention to detail on that one also would have been because like that when the ban screen comes up, it's not going to be in the same graphic as the game. So it's just technical stuff. Then nitpicky stuff, but it takes you out of it. But also, I think back in the day, if she was doing it'd start off with a hand job and a blow job, and then shifting around. It'd be playing around with the positions. It wouldn't be just her bent over and him nailing her for 5 minutes straight. And the two other ones where she setting up the fuck machine, it's that 10 minutes of nothing but doggy. And I'm sorry, the picture-in-picture of looking at her face, that doesn't change. It's still the same damn thing. I'm skipping ahead, big chunks. Nothing's changed. Or the Cinnamon makes a delivery. It's like, okay, you got the dildo set up there, and it's back to the camera, and that's it for about 10 minutes. Or 5 minutes, or however long. It's like, the worst thing you can do to someone, someone watching your porn thing, is to bore them. I mean, it's just one thing constantly. It's like, can you mix it up a little bit? Because I've seen, even just stuff where the girl is just no dialogue and is just playing with herself. It's still, a bigger mix of what she's doing, and it's like, Indy, you're losing it, okay? One of the reasons that, one, I think also the trans thing has also sapped all kinds of things. You're trying to do other things that you're not built for. You're not a boy. And I noticed other things, like in the thing, you're not even trying. The things able to femboy pants, they're not even the plastic dick. So that you're not even keeping up with your own rules. But again, considering that the definition of trans these days, there was no set definition. It's whatever you want it to be, which means it makes it meaningless. But it's like, I think between the trans thing is fucking with their head more than you could think. No, I feel more comfortable, but the stuff sucks. Okay. But I think also the 10 years of pot smoking has just fried the brain. But, and that's a combination, but just the effect of the pot itself, and also hormones are a big. Hormones are like the fuel, the part of the gear is how everything works, both mentally and physically. And one of the effects of pot smoking is it depresses hormone levels. Again, why you're on the treatment you're on, Indy, birth control pills and low-grade testosterone, which means everything is crashed. Especially the fact you're on a birth control pill and you're still getting the period. I don't know why it's happening. Because your hormone levels were in the fucking basement. And again, when you were first going on them, you think, oh, this shuts the estrogen on. No, it doesn't. What it does, again, you can look this up. I've known this, since they invented the damn thing. God, before I was born. It's like, birth control pills. They are high levels of estrogen and progesterone. The idea is, if someone with normal hormone levels, it fools the body into thinking it's pregnant. Because that's what happens when you get pregnant. Your estrogen and testosterone and progesterone skyrocket. So okay, we don't need to produce any more eggs for a while. The fact that you're on this and still getting a period means it's just boosting you up to normal. Means your hormones have crashed. And again, the testosterone they prescribed, it's like you're only half dose of that, and it's meant for postmenopausal women to boost their levels up to normal. And testosterone it's an aggression, it's a stimulant, it's an aggression thing. And why are you feeling more confident? Yeah, because your levels are getting back up to normal. But they ain't there yet, And again, it's like, thank God you're not on the trans stuff, because again, first thing, with Prisha, first thing that got her, normally I put out usually, I would think, the first thing would be like the hair and beard growth and stuff like that, In her case, the genital deformations happen first. Clitoral overgrowth, vaginal and uterine atrophy. So there's no telling what's going to happen first if you really go hardcore on this. In which case, kiss this porn career goodbye. Because you couldn't even do, a strip because the stuff would be hanging out. It'd hurt to even look at it. Again, thankfully, your anxiety is such that you're not, and you didn't want to go on hormones in the first damn place. Who put that thought in your head to go that route? You need to change therapists. I think that's a big thing. Your therapists are trying to get you on that treadmill to medicalize your stuff. Yeah. Again, there's this affirmation only crowd. Oh, yes, queen. Bullshit. You're about to walk off a fucking cliff with a smile on your face. Someone's going to stand up and say, no, stop it. It's stupid. You're being dumb. You know better than this. You're smarter than this. Stop it. Someone's got to be here and, try and hold the line here. But as far as just, the content, it's like, the witch stripper, that one, it gets away because you're talking to them mostly. It's a JOI. They're not going to get much there anyway. And although even then, it still could have varied up a little more. But that one works sorely, more or less. But you really need, if you want to get back on top here of this, where your material is worth pirating, okay? Think about that. It took so long to get a look at the boy videos. No one wanted to touch the damn thing. Let's say they charged $40 for that shit. The thing was stupid. And again, I wonder about this fiance of yours. You're going to have God knows how long you come like a screaming maniac. He hadn't even close to, by his own words, I'm not even close to coming. Really? Even at my age, I think I'd be close to coming in that situation, okay? Pretty sure we'd have to fake the cum shot, okay? So that should be a red flag right there, okay? But I think, there are issues here, and you really want to get back on top. You need to start dealing with why you hate yourself. Instead of dodging it with his trans shit, you need to get into why do you hate yourself in the first goddamn place? What got it into your head? When you're first, about 7 years ago, you got a video. I don't blame my gender. I don't blame, and you went from that to I'm a guy. Who flipped you, Indy? Who flipped that switch though? Where you're not blaming your gender. You're not. You seem to be pretty on top of things. Pretty well balanced there. That suddenly it's like, okay, no, I'm a guy. And again, I'm not calling you stupid because the thing is, this thing tends to suck in the very intelligent people who think they analyze everything out the wazoo. They think 6 ways around Tuesday and then come to the ultimate conclusion that 2 + 2 = 47. Because the logic is so convoluted, you lose your place. So it's more a case you're too smart for your own good in this situation. You're not a boy, goddammit. Stop pretending you are. That's the whole thing. I identify as I'm pretending to be. I said the goal of psychotherapy is supposed to be getting you to resolve your issues and learn to live within yourself, okay? Be comfortable with where you're at. Not dive deeper into a delusion that can only result in just tragedy and something if you carried far enough. Because this cannot be sustained. No matter how much you medicalize this shit, it's gonna end up with you dying an early death at this point, because it's gonna end up wrecking your endocrine system and everything else. And it's like, for what? What the hell are you trying to accomplish? Because you're going backwards. So one of you. I was never a self-harmer. What do you call this? This is self-sabotage writ large, with possible actual self-harm being subcontracted out to an alleged doctor. I don't care if the degree is legit. It's like anyone who engages in this stuff does not deserve to call themselves a doctor. They're butchers. Any therapist who's oh yeah, you say you're a boy, you're a boy, goddammit. They might have all reality to the contrary. No, Indy, you want to get back into doing stuff that actually kind of makes sense? You got to deal with this shit, okay? Stop dodging it. If you expect this marriage to work, you need to get it cannot be based on a fucking lie. And if this guy can't handle the fact that you're actually a girl and still going to pretend, then fuck him. Get the hell out of there. He's probably going to bail anyway. Because he's not going to put up with a crazy after a point. And no, I'm not putting myself up as a replacement. One, I'm already married. And I'm not sure we'd be able to live together, but I can certainly be a friend. Yeah. I can help on that point. I can help talk her through stuff from there and there, and also direct. Contacting again that evidence-based therapies in Seattle. They deal with cases like yours, borderline personality and other ones, and other things. And they will never utter the words trans. They don't give a shit what you're doing. They want to know what the hell's going on. Get to the issues of what's happening down there to cause all this shit in the first place. That's where you need to be, actual therapy, not a rah-rah session with a team of so-called therapists. I think we'd see you more as a gravy train now than a patient. You're not someone to be treated. You're an ATM to them. You think why they've been doing this for over 10 years? Because you're a steady paycheck. But yeah, it's like right now you putting out a decent, putting out a good video now is like looking for hen's teeth. Because most of the stuff you're putting out now is frankly it's boring. It's just one move and like that's it. And it's like you want to go to partner. Then take it from the person who's been consumed a lot of porn over the past 40-some years. You gotta mix it up, okay? 10 minutes doggy on a fuck machine without even touch. We like boobs, okay? Why everyone screaming? Oh my God! Don't touch them, because we like them, okay? They're very good, very nice. And no, you're not a double D, okay? Whoever told you that, slap them. I posted a picture, who that's a boob job. So yeah, she deliberately went through a double D. So it's not happenstance. Those are measured in double Ds. Yours aren't that full, okay? They may have actually gotten a little bigger lately because of just age. Nature is pulling that cruel trick when you get past 30. The weight's not going away like it used to. At most, it might be a single D. I'm thinking more likely you're in a very healthy C. And again, I posted a link on my thing about how to properly measure yourself. Find out what you really are. And actually, with the technical term for yours are kind of pendulous. They don't just sit up there. There is a sag there. There always has been. And again, I can say that because I've, seen this shit going back to a couple of pictures back before you got the back tattoo. Okay, I'm trusting those are legal. You posted them apparently. Going back to Tumblr days, I think so. So it's just a general the wheel the hamster is running out of gas here, Indy. You need to throw the brakes in there and then just rethink what the hell am I doing? Okay, what the hell's going on up there? Oh, they just want me to hit myself. No, quite the opposite. I want you to fucking figure out what's going on and learn to love yourself again. If you ever have, really, consider how far back this goes. I think it all goes back to whatever the hell happened when you were real little that you refused to even deal with. Reinforced by what happened at 14, but pretty sure the stage was set back when you were whatever 2 or 3, whatever the hell happened to you. So young you can barely remember. Again, this eye has just been bugging me all day and most of yesterday. So I had invested in an eye patch for days like this, but you're gonna have to to stare down whatever the hell it was that happened back there and figure out what the hell, what happened, why is it fucking with you like this, and deal with it. Wrap your head around whatever happened and deal with it, because otherwise it will continue to fuck with you. Because the whole thing, oh, that's traumatic bullshit. It's gotten you to this point where you're not even, ready to deny your own sex. You're denying open fucking reality. We got 10 years of documentary proof of what the hell you are, Indy. Yeah. So how long are you going to continue denying reality here? It's not an identity. It's a coping mechanism. And again, I'm picking up signs that it's wearing out. It's not working. I'm not seeing anything with the Packer anymore, thank God, frankly. I think you're realizing that most guys really don't like having balls and nuts. Because aside from peeing and fucking, they're just there. It's a sweat factory. I think that's the root of a lot of guys that wonder, what would it be like to be a girl? What would it be like not to have this thing down here, being a basic heat sink in my shorts all the damn time? It would be nice to have pants that fit right once in a while. Yeah? You're talking about shirts not fitting? How about, you try finding a pair of jeans that doesn't, grab you on the goodies. Okay? We all got shit about ourselves we don't like, okay? We should write a note to the manufacturer. Hey, did you think about maybe doing this and this instead of this? Because this is a pain in the ass. This doesn't work too well. But let's get into the weeds. So, Indy, just fucking pull your head out of your ass. And again, I know it's mental illness. She's been fighting this more than half her life, but still. Well, about half, a little more than half her life here. It's not a magic switch, but you got to start somewhere. And part of it is realizing, okay, yeah, this ain't working. There'll be a link in the description right up there top. As soon as you're ready to find actual help. They're over in Seattle itself, with not a few blocks away from the art museum. Okay. And I'm sure it wouldn't be. I'm sure insurance covers it too. Okay. So that we'll talk at you later.
A sound soul dwells within a sound mind and a sound body.